Alright, so the second execute on Overpass B site is going to come out of the monster. The first one I showed you guys comes out of water, and the idea is to push up onto the catwalk, or the sidewalk, whatever you call it. I guess it's more of a catwalk. Push up the catwalk and wrap the pit. So when you come out monster, the idea is to wrap the pillar and wrap site. So you peek into the pit, but you don't actually fully clear it. And then you plant the bomb. Play post plant, which should be fairly simple if you're able to wrap the pillar and clear the ramp like that. So again, there's two phases. The first phase is just get out to here and clear. Hopefully that guy will be flashed, because that's a bad fight type on AK. That'll be mollied. So you clear the pillar and you clear close left. So after that, you push out and you clear the ramp basically, and barrels will be mollied. So if he drops a smoke there, you will have to clear the barrels and clear the ramp and clear anyone playing on top of these boxes. So those will be your angles. Now the smokes that get thrown are all from this staging area and also this staging area. So you don't need short control for this. That's the middle of sight smoke. And then here's the heaven smoke. So you aim here. So in this beam, and then down from the edge of that bit, and then run through. Oops, it was a little short. It's a little short. I'll show you a couple ways to do this, because I've been messing with it. And the idea is you want to get it in heaven without there being gaps. So that's the best one I've found. There's a deeper one that's much easier to throw, where you come up to this bit, aim here, whoops, and run, and it's a much simpler lineup. Of course, that's the one I missed, obviously. So again, aiming there, running forward, let go. I got it that time, but it lands a little bit deeper. See, that time it was perfect because it bounced off this little bit of shelving. It seems to do that like 1 out of 4 times, and I can't predict it. So if you can practice this in your own server and you can get it down to where you can predict it, whoever ends up throwing it, I don't know who's gonna. I don't know. I'm just making the executes. I haven't decided who's doing what yet. And honestly, I'm not totally sure that will be my job. That might be Blake's job. So I don't know. Anyway, so you throw those 2 smokes, and then there's a Molotov that you throw from right here. This is good for pugs too, so it's just generally worth learning. So what you do is you line up on the edge of the stairs, and then you look at this bit of the brick, and then you go up to the overpass, and then run through. And boom. Now for smokes, I didn't need smokes. For flashes, that flash is a nice one. That flash is a nice one. That flash ain't bad. Lots of flashes to throw. If you want to clear short, throw something like that. That'll help flash that guy off. But anyway, for this strat, basically you don't really need a support player. You will probably need a lurker, so someone to sort of go into the connector, or at least go short B and watch the connector. But you don't really need a distraction, because it's effectively a rush. If they molly you, smoke that molly, because it's well worth burning a smoke to buy yourself 7 seconds. 7 seconds on an execute. The problem with smoke at the molly is it makes it harder to clear this close guy, but hopefully those flashes that I throw. Now on the ESCA you can't actually see the pathways, so I'll just show you where they pop. So that one's nice because it'll blind the barrels guy. This one's nice because it will blind the guy playing close, so it just pops right there. So if he's holding this at all, it'll just be a nice pop flash. And the one for like graffiti area, that one's pretty self-explanatory. You throw a flash there because there's no smoke catwalk, so this execute is fairly susceptible to losing one guy. I don't expect to ever lose more than one guy to an offer playing back here, just because of it's such a long-range shot that he's not going to be able to hit like a scope shot and then a no scope right afterwards. So like it'd be worth crouching or doing one of these. Like, well, I guess it wouldn't work because you're too far away. But anyway, yeah, do a little bit of movement so you don't get shot. Also, the flashbang would probably help that clear that guy. And then you can, once you get out and clear the ramp, because barrels is the main thing you have to worry about. Then heaven, and then graffiti. So with these smokes, you should be just fine. You'll have to worry about. Oh, actually, you won't have to worry about anyone on top of the box. You have to worry about someone dancing around the pillar. You have to worry about ramp, and you have to worry about short. So the entry pack will push up to barrels and clear this, and then go and plant. And the third guy will float. Like, get ready to trade the first two players, and then the last guy, or the fourth and fifth guy, depending on how many are rushing, will just come up to the pillar and watch short. So kind of try not to get opt from graffiti, but also to hold this short angle. So what I've effectively done is I've taken the default execute, which is something like all these, and I've broken it into two pieces so that one, it's not as organizationally intensive. Like if you only have two support players, or two, not even really support players. If you only have two tactical players who know all the utility, it's going to be real hard to coordinate these 3 or 4 smoke executes late round, because people are going to have used their smokes, or they're just not going to remember the lineups. And a missed smoke is worse than no smoke at all, because it warns the enemy, and it actually gives them an advantage more often than not. So by splitting this execute in two, it's much more agile, it's much more convenient, and also it allows, it's better for fakes, which sort of goes under the agility of it. But then also you can do different things. So if they're shutting down one B execute, but you know they're doing 3A, you've got a different B execute. So they're not gonna, like, they might have a game plan for one of the B executes. Maybe it's maybe let's say they have one guy barrels, and then the molly comes over and they drop their own smoke and then throw a molly and then throw flashes. Maybe they have one B guy save all of his utility to do all that, and that super fucks our monster hit. It's like, okay, fair enough. Then what you can do is we can just have one guy monster throw the barrels molly. So throw that molly, wait for the utility, and then a couple of seconds later throw the execute where you come out short, and have the guy who threw the barrels molly just come out and help just lurk. Because that way we know that one guy's barrels, because he threw all of his utility, and he's going to want to run out of that smoke and run ramp, and so they're going to have a molly for that, and then we can just wrap and shoot him. And so we suddenly have a fake that only requires one Molotov, and it's not even a fake that it's not even a fake like you need to throw one Molotov and one smoke, but it needs to be thrown from A long, where where it takes like a certain amount of utility just to get up there. So effectively, you need to probably kill one or two players getting up to it just to throw the fake, and so that you only have 2 or 3 players for the execute. Well, this way, even though you sort of telegraph that, hey, there's multiple people B, you indicate that you're coming out of monster. And a lot of times, if I'm playing CT, for instance, and I mean, I don't know how different I play to you guys, but on my last team, I was the guy, like, I don't like sitting and waiting. So if I think they're going to come out monster, I'm pushing short right away. And then I'm clearing this, and then I'm trying to get a pick as they plant the bomb. That's what I'm doing. So if we're playing someone like that, and we throw a molly to barrels, he's going to push up here and get here, and there's going to be 3 guys in his face. And then all of a sudden we have a free pick, and we know where the other guy is. Anyway, so that's enough of my ramblings. These are a couple of the Overpass B executes. A is much simpler, because on A you can kind of just walk into it, or you can throw a wall of smoke. Like those are kind of the 2 options. But walking into B just doesn't work because there's a billion angles to check. And wall of smoke doesn't work that well because it's so easy to retake. Whereas A is much harder to retake. So I know you guys asked me to look at Inferno, but I'd been working on those heaven smokes. So there you go.